Okay, hi, we're the Compost Kings from the New Buffalo High School Environment team, and welcome to our CO. Perfect.
There you go.
So our project this year was indoor composting.
Alright, hello, my name's Andrew Villa. I'm a senior in Buffalo High School. Kira Arvanitis could not make it because of AP testing, but she's a junior in Buffalo High School.
I'm Jesse Up. I am a junior in Buffalo High School.
I am Ashton Jacobs-Gobieski. I'm a sophomore in Buffalo High School.
Oh, I'm Allie Ransom, I'm a freshman at New Buffalo High School.
And I'm Haruki Evely, another freshman for New Buffalo High School, replacing Kira Arvanitis.
Our issue is waste management. There are 254 million tons of garbage made by our country every year. And of that, only 87 million is recycled. That's leaving us with 167 million tons of garbage going into landfills. And that's a lot. It's a 2-to-1 ratio between the amount of garbage going into landfill versus the garbage actually being recycled. Now, if we could increase the amount that's being recycled as opposed to going to landfills, we could have a massive positive impact on our environment. And now, most recycling would be plastics, paper, glass. But if we could popularize the recycling of organic materials, you could see those numbers shifting in a very positive direction very quickly.
Okay, so our goal is to reduce waste. Okay, so basically our team's goal with this project and this project is to reduce the amount of waste that we make each year, and like he said about recycling organic materials. In that new way, we can create new dynamics for it's a new method of waste management. And we really hope with this project that we can expand it to other communities, not just our own, and we want it to be used in our school cafeteria and just make our community more of a positive number upholding what we're going to talk about.
Our way of accomplishing our goal is indoor compost buckets. An indoor compost bucket is a simple and affordable way of composting year-round and turning organic material into fertile soil for planting through the winter, which here is not exactly friendly.
No.
So how we actually made our bucket is we got our materials together, which is a 5-gallon bucket of any kind, a lid, some dirt and or coffee grounds for the actual base to compost, and some of these drag sheets. So the tools that we had to get together to build this bucket were a drill and a drill bit. It doesn't really matter what size drill bit you use. It can be anywhere, just as long as you can roll a fabric sheet up and stick it in there. And we also used scissors and or a knife. So to actually construct this bucket, you would take your drill and drill bit and drill 8 holes around the lid of the bucket to actually fit these dryer sheets in. And then after that, you would actually take one of the dryer sheets, roll it up like so, cut it in half, and then just twist it a little bit.
And it's super simple to do. You just twist it the way that you twisted them. And then you screw it in, and then you just pull through until they're about halfway through.
And then after that, you would want to fill the bottom of the bucket with about 1.5 to 2 inches of soil for a base. And then
How to use it. After you fill it up, about 2 inches of soil on the bottom, then maybe you're cooking and you're throwing stuff in there. After a while, you're gonna accumulate a layer. It's gotta be fresh. You can't leave it there overnight, or else it starts to break down. It's a really quick process. So before you go to bed and stuff, or before you put wash the dishes and put everything away, you want to put either soil or use coffee grounds or a mix of the both, and just cover it completely, just cover it. or else it starts to smell. And then if you do like start to notice like a scent, just once you cover it up, you might want to like eat an orange and then just like put it on there just so the citrus breaks down and it smells better. If you still notice a scent after that, you might want to just change your dryer sheets because after a while it does just start to smell a little bad because it's breaking down organic material and it releases like warm energy. That's why when you throw stuff in there, you don't want it to be wet because the moisture creates odor. So you can throw damp and dry foods such as like orange peels, like the eggshells, and sorry, I'm blanking here. Yeah. Okay. So peels, eggshells, and just like just vegetable scraps, different type of stuff, like smaller, so it's easier to break down over time. Oh, after you like found a considerable like amount of compost, and you can bring it to us, or you can use it for your own garden.
So like we do want to avoid putting in the actual bucket are things like non-organic materials such as rubbers, plastics, and like metals, obviously. And you don't want to throw in any like bones or like actual like animal meats in there because those are not like as easy to break down for composting, and like they just don't work as well. And they'll just like start to like smell after a while like a lot worse than just like your organic materials that you would naturally put in there. So some ways that we thought of to actually improve the design of our bucket were to use mycelium, which are basically like mushroom spores, to help basically break down and speed up the process of the composting, as well as to produce a like sustainable like source of food that like you just use in everyday cooking. And one of like the mushrooms we found that would have worked really well were oyster mushrooms, which grow naturally around us in our environment in Michigan. So, yeah.
Also, the mycelium. So once you transfer it, once you want to put it to your garden, you want to like keep the mycelium that's already been cultivating in there because you don't want to throw out like a good product. So usually the mycelium will either grow like in the middle, closer to the bottom, because that's when it starts to like compost first, or like around the side because then it like grabs grip on the stuff. So you just want to like make sure you like go in there and scoop them up like gently so you don't like throw it all the way. It's gonna be gross for like a couple minutes, but then the payoff is really well. Also, different ways to improve the bucket. During the summer, you can turn this into an outdoor compost bin. And with wet foods, you could even put wet foods in here if you want to make it out of 2 buckets. So with 2 buckets, you want to put another bucket on the bottom and drill like 5 to 8 holes down here. And then you can just throw stuff in there. It'll filter through, and the soil will stop most of the stuff in the water will just seep through, and it creates like this black, nutrient-rich water. And that can be used to like spray your plants and stuff. We actually use that during the summer for our citrus, like our lemons and like our yeah, they get really big. They're like about this big. And yeah, so also with worms, with the brindle worms, you want to tear up cardboard that has been used to package food, such as like pizza boxes and stuff, because it's easier to break down, and just like rip it all into like medium to like small portions, and then just throw them in there as you're going, so the worms have bedding. Just because they like to just like lay there and just like, I don't know, they just like to live in there. Yeah.
That's 9 minutes.
1 minute?
You get 1 minute to go.
Okay, our future, our expectation and outreach. So we have reached out to our community in many different ways. So one out of the 4 different ways that we've done it was to our teacher and to our mentors, so our peers, our teachers and our peers. Sorry. So we just presented in front of the classroom, and then we took feedback and how to improve these slides. And we've also tried to get with the school board to get the cafeteria to throw some of the materials that they like, you know, just there's a lot of waste like every day after like lunch. A lot of people just throw their plates out the way and stuff. So, but that got snowed in, so we couldn't have that. So we were still trying to. Okay, the New Buffalo Ideas Fair. We presented at that. It was a local fair that we put together. So we could reach out to the community. And the fourth one is you. We were presenting to you, and you are a community, not ours, but that's even bigger.
Stand.
Thank you. Thank you.
Questions?
Yeah, questions?
So in the process of thinking about composting, did you guys learn about carbon nitrogen ratios?
We learned that if they're not right, a little, I don't remember what it's called, but a little like insect will start to grow, and usually they cultivate at the top of the lid, and they just like destroy your compost.
We actually, at our ideas fair, we had DNR. That's what it was. They were there as well, and they actually helped us out. They gave us this little pamphlet that that helped us, and like we used it to like guide our like knowledge and understanding of composting.
So when to stop, like leave it there for a little bit, so then it doesn't break down too much at the bottom, or like not break down enough, and it breaks down more at the top because of like different levels, and then it just throws the whole like ecosystem out of balance, and then starts freaking out, and a bunch of stuff goes into that we don't want to grow.
So how long of a time does it take from initial gathering of foodstuffs and soil or coffee grounds to a finished product?
Well, it depends on how often you drink coffee, how often you how often you compost and stuff. I know our bus driver actually uses it, and he goes through it really quickly because he drinks a lot of coffee like every morning. He like makes his fresh pot for him, his wife, and like his son. So they like all drink. So then they like just keep it, and then they throw it in there like every once in a while. And so it just depends on how much you consume. For my family, they're really forgetful, but it's simple. So it takes us a long time. We still haven't even filled it up to half, I believe. Yeah.
And so once you have that bucket full, when is it gonna be finished compost that you could put on your garden and use?
It shouldn't take that long. It should only take about like a couple of days to a week for it to like actually fully break down.
Food
Like,
lots.
For every layer.
Okay.
and then like it will like break down into this like really nice like rich nutrient like soil.
It should be dark, like it should be like dark. There should be like some still little scraps, but not big enough that you can like pick out and notice that what it was. So like orange peel would be like shriveled up and like broken down. Different, it affects different organisms in different ways. But you should notice when it's like a rich
It's like a
poor
dark
smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely
Like, for example, like if you go to like the grocery store, and in Michigan, our strawberries, they get darker faster, I guess. But my family keeps out their strawberries, like we don't put them in the fridge or anything. So like after we buy them, we have to eat them quickly, or within like a day or even a couple hours, they just rot. So if you can imagine, like just a couple days of them just sitting out in like a package, to then being under coffee grounds and with the worms and the mushrooms, and they rot like a lot quicker.
Okay.
And then after you're done with those, you can bring it in. You guys saw shiitake mushrooms presentation, right?
Polish
Polish
shiitake.
shiitake.
Yep.
Shiitake presentation?
Yep.
Yeah. So after you're done and you don't have a garden or it's winter time, you can bring it to the school, just drop it off. We'll know who to take care of, who takes care of it, and we can transfer that to their community garden. And it's like really interactive and like between both of our teams and other teams that are other school teams that are trying to plant different stuff. So
It's useful. We have a nice team up between our teams.
yeah, it's like synergy.
Good.
Yeah, synergy.
So is there any kind of, did you look into, is there any kind of compostable dryer sheet? I'm assuming you're tossing them as opposed to.
Yeah, we didn't look into that.
Yeah, we did not even think
We
about that.
didn't think about that as much as we probably should have or could have. But I'm sure you could find some sort of biodegradable dryer sheet that,
I just, for those, I don't think you can because there's like certain chemicals that I don't want to bring
Right.
into my garden. But, I mean,
these are just like simple like.
yeah, those were the cheapest ones at the store. We kept this, we kept this,
We try to
kept
make
this
it as
cost.
cheap as possible.
Yeah, so it's affordable, it's easy. During the winter time, you can do that. You can compost all year round. I know, for example, like our bus driver, he cut down his waste, he cut down his waste by like, he does a quarter of what he used to throw away. So I mean, he composts a lot, he composts often.
It works.
It works like really well.
Do you guys compost at home?
I did it, and then my mom said no, so I just put it in the garage. She doesn't know that it's there, so that's a good sign. That means it doesn't smell.
Working on it.
We're
My mom
going
still
to.
thinks, I don't really want a bucket full of rotting vegetables in my thing, but I'm like, it doesn't smell, it's not gross, it's fine. It's really healthy for our garden. So
Yeah.
she's like, I'll think about it. So I'm still.
Yeah, my little brother has like a raised bed garden outside. I mean, obviously he doesn't like hose it or like water it, he doesn't take care of it, but it's there. He's like about like 9. So so what I did last year was use I called it sewage water because it smelled horrible, and so I did that. I did like the drill bucket holes and I threw away like the material on top, which I shouldn't have done that. But that's how I composted last year, and this year it's just been taking like a longer time because it's not as wet, and I didn't put any worms in there. I didn't like let it cultivate for as long. So just that's how that's going. You compost?
I want to.
There you go.
Grab a bucket.
You can keep
Any other questions?
Yep, good.
Did you want to ask a question? No?
Just
He's
the
just
timer.
Oh, he's just in time.
He's a lot more than that. Actually, he's very highly qualified.
He's a very qualified.
So many things. Yeah, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
All
much.
right, good luck.